All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Natalie Rydstrom. Joining us is tipsters Nigel Seeley, and we've got Flash with us today. Week 31, 10 matches to preview, and we are going to kick it off. Guys, thank you so much for being here. How's everything going?
Yeah, good.
All good.
Yeah. What happened to Crystal Palace? They were 1 goal up in the 33 minute. I was already counting my money, counting my profits, and then they lost.
Yeah, well, I was actually at the game, and this is just a little bit of a word of warning for all of our viewers and that. It's okay us giving the selections, but you've got to be very, very careful with teams that are playing week in, week out at the moment with injuries, because they looked very strong, Crystal Palace, for about, and I'd say 35, 40 minutes, and they were really, really fit. Kabay went off. They had two centre-halves missing, centre-backs. Sacco came on, and they were a shadow of the team in the last 25 minutes. And they still had chances to go 2-1 up, and they lost 2 goals in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So just be a little bit careful on team selection against our selections, because Liverpool basically ended with like a reserve team. Even though I didn't get involved in that game, they ended like with a reserve team the other night against Bournemouth.
Yeah. Well, we do always say we are here as a guide.
I would put it another way, Natalie. We got it completely wrong. We're all rubbish.
Yeah. Don't listen to us. Change channel. Move on.
That game, on that particular game, we got it wrong.
Well, listen, we are still all three of us well in profit. So as a whole, we are doing pretty well. And again, though, we are a guide. Listen to us, but do your homework as well. Kicking off, Tottenham versus Watford, powered by Pinnacle. Tottenham 1.3, draw 6, Watford 12. Tottenham making a serious run for that title, 7 points behind possible soon-to-be champions. Can they catch up the distance? Who knows? Flash, let's start with you.
For me, it's Tottenham -1. Tottenham just far too strong, far too physical, and they have a hunger about them, and they're so fit that they keep going for 90 minutes. So for me, it's Tottenham -1. I think it's around 1.75. I expect them to maybe win 2-0, but I definitely expect them to score at least 2 goals. So Tottenham -1 is my selection.
And is that the Asian handicap?
Yeah, no, it's the European. So basically, it's Tottenham -1, and that is 1.75.
All right, and explain it. European handicap -1.
Well, basically, where the Asian gives you, there's no draw involved because it gives you 1.5. So obviously, they win by 2 clear goals. But obviously, if they only win by the 1 goal, you lose.
Okay.
Because 1 goal brings in a tie.
Yeah. All right. Got you. Yeah. Look, because we do. I use just Asian handicap, and we also have -1 as well. So if they just win by 1 goal, then you get your money back.
Okay. If you're using that Asian, then you can do -1.5.
Yeah, I'm doing -1.5. Actually, that's my bet. So to win by 2 goals or more, and that's 1.85. I found the odds for that one. Only conceded 8 at home, and I'm doubtful whether Watford can score, to be honest with you. But if they do, 2-0, 3-1, something like that's the result I'm looking at. What about you, Nige?
I'm very similar to you guys. I think Tottenham are in a league of their own compared to this Watford side. A much better side, much better all around the pitch. It was a fantastic last 5 minutes, wasn't it, in midweek? They got their title track back on track. The unfortunate thing is Man City couldn't get the equaliser to really give them a good chance. But they will win this game. I'm going to go slightly different. I think Tottenham to win 2-0 is the bet here. I think Tottenham is so good defensively at White Hart Lane. They've got the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, in my opinion. I think they've got the best centre-half, as kind of the best centre-halves as well. Defensively, they're very strong. And it's a bigger price than what you two are looking at as well. 2.05 you can get for Tottenham to win 2-0. I can't see Watford scoring in this game. A little bit bigger than even money. Tottenham to win 2-0, the best bet in this game for me.
Yeah, I can't see them scoring as well. Best defence in the league.
And Nat, have you given me the 1.85 then as well?
Not sure if that's how it works. It's like,
well, no, I'm happy to go with the Asian then. I'll go with 1.85.
All right, so you're going to do Tottenham -1.5.
Thank you.
All right, taking a leaf from my book, Flash?
I am.
I feel very privileged here. Very, very nice. Man City versus Hull. Man City 1.2, draw 7.5. Hull 17. 17, is that right? I done these odds down wrong.
Yeah.
That
will be right.
Wow.
Yeah, that will be right.
Okay. That's
Would you back it though? Would you back?
No.
Would you back it at 17? Exactly. So would you back it at 33?
With a pound on that or something, isn't it?
What price? The question is, what price would you back them at? I wouldn't back them at anything up to 40 to 1.
Okay. Well, yeah. They did come from a strong performance there, 4-2 against Middlesbrough, albeit Middlesbrough are down at the bottom of the table. But it wasn't a bad. I don't know. They do struggle on the road though. Just one win, 7 scored. I'm actually going to go for both teams to score no, 1.91. The reason I'm going for both teams to score no and not Man City to win 2-0 is because did Man City have a 0-0 draw to Stoke recently? Just worried about that. So both teams to score no, 1.91. What do you go for, Nige?
Well, I'm going for Man City to win 2-0 again. I mean, I saw that 1.91. Realistically, are Hull going to score? You can get 2.1 Man City to win 2-0. So I think if you don't fancy Hull score, which I certainly don't think they'll score, I think the Man City to win 2-0 is the better bet at 2.1. Defensively, Man City aren't the strongest. We all know that. But Hull are probably one of the weakest sides in attacking force in the Premier League, despite them scoring 4 goals in their last game. I think Manchester City, they know the title's over for them now. They'll put on some good performance. It's all about the FA Cup for them now, which is the only chance they've got of silverware. I can see him making some changes, but I still think whatever side he goes with will be too strong for Hull. Man City to win 2-0, 2.1.
Yeah, and somebody's got as well. Gary Colbert, Man City -1. Yeah, I would play that as well. What would you go for, Flash?
I'll go Manchester City -2. So I think they'll win this maybe 3-0, maybe 4-0, 4-1, and that's 2.25. I just see them just being far too strong, far too much movement. And I think that games like this is not where Hull are actually going to get points to stay up. So they'll almost keep themselves back in reserve for the bigger games that they've got, mainly the home games or against teams that are down there with them. So for me, Man City -2, 2.25.
All right, so you're expecting goals in this match. Flash, where are you? You're not in your usual spa surroundings.
I am now. Basically, I'm in the other part of the front room. I've gone for a bit of a silver background.
I can see that.
Like a halo. See that? Right, a little bit like I'm in Brazil.
Yeah, I was trying to wonder where you were, because I know you're always traveling around the country, and so I was wondering if you're off on your travels.
No, I'm back home now.
Okay, all right. Middlesbrough, and somebody's asking about the dog running around. It's tiny. It's the office dog that runs around. It's a little beagle, I think it is. Middlesbrough versus Burnley. Middlesbrough 2.4, draw 3.2, Burnley 3.4. Tough match. Obviously, Middlesbrough 1.08 right now to be relegated. So it's a team really who are packing up their bags and leaving the Premier League. Tough match. I think it's going to be a close match. What do you like, Nigel?
I think it's a real tricky one to call. Middlesbrough, you can't really back them with anyone's money the way they're playing at the moment. And Burnley are very, very poor away from home all season. So Burnley's form has been so good at home. I could potentially go for under 2.5 goals. But Middlesbrough turned that on their head in a game and looked like an under 2.5 goal game against Hull in midweek. I think this is really, really tricky one. For me, I can make cases for both sides and I can make negatives for both sides. For that reason, I bet on this game. Middlesbrough Burnley, it's a pass for me.
Yeah, it was a close pass for me, to be honest. Flash, what are you going for?
I'm just going to go for the under 2.5 goals. I think it's an absolute moral. I mean, I can see Middlesbrough maybe winning this game 1-0. I can also see a 1-1 draw. I certainly can't see anyone scoring 3, and I can't see Burnley scoring 2. So for me, under 2.5 goals, I think it's like 1.56. So it's your sort of price, but I see it happening.
Well,
it's very short though, Flash, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, a short price winner is better than a long price loser.
Thanks, Flash. See, you're also taking a leaf from my book. I have to say, Flash, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. Under 2.5 goals for me, except I found it for 1.6. My absolute cutoff is about 1.57, but I like
under 25 goals. No problem. So do I get the 1.6?
Well, kind of not how it works, Flash. It's supposed to be what
really? No. Shop around.
You're supposed to shop around
mate.
and then come through the odds. And that doesn't mean shop around in your own bookie. That means real odds.
No problem. I've got some good ones coming up, by the way.
Under 25 goals at even money.
Exactly. Now, listen, I've got some good ones coming up in the show today. I've got some good ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I can't wait.
I bet you can't.
Okay, just got a few people joining us. CB Meshel, afternoon, evening to you as well. I like the under 2.5 goals. Yeah, under 2.5 goals. And then somebody's also going for the Middlesbrough, like a Middlesbrough draw, no bet. We're staying away from the outright. Anybody got Flash? Do you have a lean on the outrights?
I'd have to go for Middlesbrough only because of the desperation.
Yeah.
But then it'd only bring it in maybe 1-0. So yeah, I mean, draw no bet is probably the only way to go if you want to go away from the goals.
Yeah, but unders here seems to be a collective bet. Stoke versus Liverpool. Liverpool 1.91, draw 3.8, Stoke 4.2. Anyone playing the Liverpool win?
No.
Yeah.
I'm Stoke all the way.
I'm not. There's two games this week that I'm passing on. This is the other one I'm passing on. I think Liverpool are so inconsistent. They let odds-on punters down again against Bournemouth. You can't trust them when you don't expect them to win. They win, and when you expect them to win, they lose. You can't really trust them at all. I think they're the punters' biggest enemy this season, and season in, season out, they've always been the same. And especially in games like this, I really couldn't tell you what will happen. And Stoke as well, aside that if you could handpick 3 or 4 teams in the Premier League you've got nothing to play for, you want to be playing, Stoke would be well high up on that list. So for that reason, there's 2 games this weekend I'm not going to play. I'm Stoke Liverpool's my second one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'm staying away from the outrights. I do have a really good bet that I like. Maybe you'll be tempted to take it. But Stoke are going through a rough patch, but they have been up for some tough opponents. Those Chelsea, Man City, Tottenham. They are at home. But you seem quite confident here on the Stoke win there, Flash.
I think they're overpriced. I think 4.0 for a Stoke win. And let me just tell you, Liverpool are going to have no Lallana, no Mane. Coutinho's not well. They don't know about Matip playing at the back. Basically, this will be a half reserve team. And for me, against the Stoke side at home, notorious place to go. They are desperate away from home. So they've got to get something at home just to give their fans something to cheer about. They're overpriced at 4-0, so I'm going to go Stoke to beat them. Yeah, that's not actually. We just did our best bets actually, and Stuart from Tipster HQ liked the Stoke win as well. A lot of people they're liking Liverpool -1, Liverpool to win 2-0. Both teams to score also seems like quite a popular bet. But I'm actually just going to go for the simple over 2 goals. So if you see 2 goals, I get my money back. 3 money in my pocket, and that's 1.8. I actually think that's an awesome bet. I think we're going to see at least 2 goals in this match. I think I'm going to see, but I think I'm almost going to make that my banker. Do you not know what do you think about that one, Nigel?
I think Liverpool, the way they play at the moment, they're conceding goals and they're scoring. I mean, 2-2 against Bournemouth. Every sort of game they play, both teams just seem to be scoring. I'm just amazed how the punters who are watching this game, who are watching this show here, are still having faith in Liverpool. I'm just so shocked. I mean, they must have had their fingers burnt so many times this season. They've been beaten at home by Swansea. They've been beaten at home by Wolves. They were held by Bournemouth. They must have a hell of a lot of money to keep losing it on Liverpool because they keep letting us down. So it's got to come to a point where you've got to think, hang on, Liverpool are far too short. And they look far too short against me. But for me, whenever I don't fancy Liverpool, they win. And whenever I fancy them, they let me down. So I can't really get involved.
Yeah, that happens with me, Manchester United, to be honest. I'm just staying away from that one. We've got a lot of interest, though, for this match. It says, great analysis there, Flash. You've changed my mind. Stoke draw, no bet. There's also enough price there to play Stoke and the draw, if that's how you want to play it. Maybe also giving them a plus on the handicap. Again, both teams to score over 1 goal in the first half. For Stoke versus Liverpool, I do think we're going to see some goals in this match. Both teams to score is 1.8. I like mine over 2 goals. And as someone said here, that's a great price. Gary Colbert, that's a great price for that bet, Natalie. That's what I thought. West Brom versus Southampton. Southampton 2.55, West Brom 3, draw 3.3, 8th and 9th respectively on the table. I'm leaning here. I'm going to see if I'll make an official play. Flash, I'll start with you.
West Brom for me. West Brom at 2-1 at home. Southampton are struggling. I know this. It's going to sound weird. They're struggling to score goals, even though they scored 3 last night. But two of them were like after they were out on their feet at Crystal Palace, and they were tap-ins from like 2 yards. So for me, I see them going. Once they go 1-0 down, I don't think there's a way back. So, and I can't believe that West Brom are 2-1 at home. I really can't. I mean, it's a gift.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, all right, cool. I've got leaning on West Brom as well, and just so you know that I am not cheating, I've got the 2 bets there. See West Brom, draw no bets.
But you texted me an hour ago asking for my selections.
No, I don't look at them. I don't have any time because I'm always like studying for these ones.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yes. And what are you going for, Nigel?
Well, I actually do another podcast, and yesterday I gave my tip of the Premier League this weekend as West Brom to win this game at bigger than 2-1. They were my best bet of the Premier League this weekend. West Brom are a very, very, very good side at home. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. Southampton away from home are nowhere near as good as they are at St Mary's. They also beat Southampton at St Mary's. They're higher than in the league table. There's certain teams that are going to be not off a yard. In terms of what I mean by that, they've got their eye on the summer tour. But Tony Pulis is one manager who will demand a performance from his side, unlike other managers in the Premier League. And I just cannot believe that they're big price underdogs this game. I made them slight favourites. I made it around about 2.6 to win the game with Southampton around about 3.1. Why are they 3.1? I really don't know. I know they got beat by Watford last time out, but they beat Liverpool. They beat Arsenal at home in their last game, and they drew Manchester United away from home. That 3.10 or 3.0, whichever the price you can get, is the wrong price, and I think West Brom are my nap of the week in the Premier League this weekend.
All right, you guys have convinced me. I'm going to go for West Brom draw no bet. Be a little bit safer there, 2.1. What's the podcast you do? Do you want to give it a shout out for our viewers who?
Is it after 9 o'clock? Is it after
it's
shed?
No, that's my other podcast, which I can't mention. That's not podcast. That's webcam.
Sorry.
Yeah,
anyway, I do. Yes, my webcam, sugardaddies.com.
Oh, webcam.
Yes, sugardaddies.com. But I do a podcast for another bookmaker, so I'd rather not mention it because our good friends at Pinnacle who power us on this one.
All right. Well, okay. What is the next one? West Ham versus Swansea. West Ham 2.1, draw 3.6, Swansea 3.6. Both in poor form. Swans fighting relegation. Hull have obviously moved out of the red zone. 2 points clear now. Must win for Swansea. But I think this is going to be a pass. It's 2 teams that are very poorly. What are you going for, Flash?
Nap of the week. West Ham will win this game. West Ham have been sucked in now. If they do not win this week and the results go against them, they are in all sorts of trouble. They have to put this to bed very, very quickly. And I see them beating Swansea. They're flat track bullies, West Ham, and they got an opportunity to stamp all over Swansea, and I believe they will do.
Okay, nap of the week. That's interesting. Being the one that's the part. What about you, Nigel? Is this a nap? Is this a favourite?
Yeah, right. It's not a nap. It would be my next best. Actually, I agree with Flash on this occasion. I hate to agree with him. I really do, and I know that's always a bad sign whenever we agree. But I think West Ham had a very, very sort of a transitional season this season. It's a new ground. The performances at the start haven't been that great. They started getting better at home. And like I say, I've spoken on this show many times. I've been to West Ham quite a few times in the early part of the season, and the atmosphere was getting better and better and better. And they need them fans behind them. They'll get them fans behind them. And Swansea are a very, very good side at home with the Liberty Stadium. Away from home, they're very, very poor. And when Paul Clement came in, he was pumping the crowd. He looked as though he'd done the job, and he was like the new Messiah when he went at Liverpool. It's a long way to go there, and I fear for Swansea. I really, really do, because they're not the kind of side who've got battlers in there at the bottom of the table. West Ham, I can see Andy Carroll using his physicality in this game, bullying Swansea into submission. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as Flash thinks. I think it could be quite a nervy game, but I think West Ham will have enough quality and will nick the game probably by the odd goal.
Interesting. Okay, and you're not alone, actually. Our viewers are also liking Sue Meshel, West Ham money line, Mahan Rasa. Yes, West Ham to win is a great bet. So a lot of people go for the West Ham win as well. Okay, Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Chelsea 1.62, draw 4.1. Bournemouth 6.5. I have to say it's low, but I can't see anywhere past just the straight Chelsea win 1.62. I think it's a great price, but then it's a must win as well because with Tottenham being just 7 points behind them, they need this win and they'll be looking to secure a win here. Flash, what do you like?
I like the draw, and I like the draw for a few different reasons. They scored 4 against Bournemouth, scored 4 at home against Liverpool earlier on in the year. They got 3 against Arsenal. This will be an ultimate football match. There'll hardly be a challenge throughout the game. There'll be high tempo. I think you can look at it in many ways. There'll be over 2.5 goals. I think you can look at both teams to score. But I think, what did you say? It was like 4.0 for the draw?
Yeah, 4.1.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go.
All right, interesting. We've got actually as well, people are asking both teams to score in the Chelsea, Ali. And then we've also got over 2.5 goals as well. So you're liking that. Somebody actually wants to ask you, ask Flash if he thinks West Ham, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals.
No, I probably would go along with Nigel there and think that if I was West Ham, I'd keep it tight, get 1-0 up, look for a bit of desperation on Swansea, Mikel Antonio or one of the other speedsters, hit him on the break. I'd probably go for 2-0 with a gun to my head.
Yeah, we've got Gryfex here saying this is the 3rd time I see Flash going against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, we were unlucky the other night against Man City, and also they don't need to actually extend themselves. They're 7 points clear. And the thing is at Bournemouth, it's not as easy as most teams think. So I'm just looking at the value. The obvious choice is obviously to go for Chelsea. But I think that it'll be a lot tighter than people think.
All right. So, yeah, you went for draw for the Chelsea versus Man City and draw. People are keeping track here, Flash.
That's good. Well, we weren't far away, were we?
No.
I mean, to be fair, Man City had a chance late on to nick the draw for us.
Yeah. I think I went for both teams to score in that match. What are you going?
So we're talking about you again, are we? That's enough about me. Let's talk about me again.
All right, what are you going for, Nigel?
I didn't know I was involved in this chat.
Is that another pass from you? Is it?
I thought it was chatting you up. I was just sitting there watching. I was sitting there watching the darts.
I was good. My next line was, "Do you come here often?"
I really do. I mean, but Bournemouth had a bit of a revival. They went to Manchester United, drew 1-1. They went to Liverpool, drew goals at home against Arsenal. They scored goals against everybody else in the league. And I think both teams will score here. I think Chelsea give you a chance now at the back. And I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. Agree with Flash. I'm not quite sure if the draw is going to be the bet, but I think at 1.91, this is a good yes for the both teams to score weekend coupon.
All right, a good yes. Sunderland versus Manchester United, a flat-out pass. Every time I play Manchester United, I lose. I'm done betting them this season. Manchester United 1.33. Seems like it, one for your parlay bet or your Raka bet, but who knows? Because Manchester United let me down all the time. What are you going for, Nigel?
I'm going to go for Man United -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sunderland in total disarray.
Yeah.
They're already down. David Moyes has completely and utterly lost the plot. I think the guy was out of his depth at Manchester United. He's completely out of his depth in the Premier League. I think he should look to manage somewhere in Scotland or look to manage somewhere in the Championship where his level is. I think he's just looks completely gone at the game at the moment in ideas. His press conference rant the other day, his meltdown, just shows you what pressure he's under. I can't see him lasting the season at Sunderland. I think they'll change it. They'll go down, and I think they should have changed it sooner. I think Manchester United win this easily. They've got all the best players back again now. Man United -1.5 against a very poor and a relegated Sunderland side.
Yeah, what are the odds for that again, Nige?
The odds you can get for that at 2.05.
2.05. Flash, do you agree with Nigel?
I think that Man United will probably win the game. My angle is I'd go for under 2.5 goals because I just don't see that. But then that could bring in Manchester United to win to 0, like 1-0 or 2-0. I just don't think Man United's tempo away from home is good enough. So I'm going to have to go for Man United under 2.5 goals. So sorry, Sunderland, Man United under 2.5. I think it's 2.1.
Okay. Because you're not making it up. We'll do a check. You've got some love there, Nigel, so you're not being left out. Said spot on, Nigel.
From Steve.
Spot on, Nigel. That's your mum wrote in.
Who?
So
my mum, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of her. She never misses the show.
She's only saying that because she wants a free holiday in Marbella.
She said spot on. Are you doing your laundry? So,
no. No, I haven't. I have. Do you know what? I had to Google the other day how to use an iron. Google how to use an iron. That's sad, isn't it?
Well, I can give you a tip. Get some hair straighteners, and they're great for your collars because you can turn them on. You can do them whilst you're wearing. It gives you like a sharp, collar look.
No, it's all right. Got someone coming and doing for 10p a shirt. Don't worry.
We've got here. Please ask Flash Nigel. Is there any value playing hard handicap bets?
Sorry, any value playing what?
Hard handicap bets.
What does that mean? Like,
I don't know. Is it the number of cards in a game?
Oh, card handicap bets.
Maybe that's what it is.
Hard.
No. It must be like -2s or -3s, mustn't it?
Yeah.
A hard handicap will be like the bigger ones. I mean, yeah, but not this stage of the season. I mean, maybe the last 2 games of the year, but normally you get your bigger wins around the busier periods, like where teams are like depleted, tired, or basically they've got another game coming up, so they jack it in with half an hour to go. At this time of the season, it's hard enough picking the right team to win.
Yeah. And then also, we've got Mahan Rasa. Don't forget thumbs up. Yes, if you'd like the video, give us a thumbs up. And also, once we've finished any questions, if you missed it and want to ask any questions, put it in the comment section below, and we'll do our very best to answer those. Everton versus Leicester. Everton 1.75, draw 3.8. Leicester 5. Interesting match here. Leicester obviously looking really strong, but they have an incredibly crucial Champions League match next week. I'm sure there'll be some players rested for that, and I think it might be tough betting Leicester. Starting with you, Flash.
I think this is going to be a goal fest, and this could be This could be a really mad game. I'm not too sure. I think that these boys, in their current workload, are best like a horse that needs to be ridden. They can't rest them and then think that they're fresh. They need to play. They're at their best when they're playing. So I've gone for over 3.5 goals here at like 3.0, and that can bring in all sorts of permutations, because if they are behind, then I can see Everton score late goals, Leicester score late goals, so I can see this game being a real high scoring game.
Yeah, and so you're just playing this straight over 2.5 goals. Would you play something like both teams to score?
Over 3.5.
Over 3.5. Would you play something like both teams to score?
Yeah, definitely. I'd expect both teams to score. Definitely. I think that it could be a 2-2. It could be a 3-1. It could be a 4-1. I just can't pick the winner, but I definitely expect to see goals.
Could even be a 5-1.
Sorry?
Could even be a 5-1, Flash.
Well, it could be.
Could be anything.
Could be.
Could be.
You've left me confident on those goals. I don't know, when Leicester, just before Leicester head into a Champions League match, they tend to lose and not a lot of goals. So that's quite interesting. But then again, that wasn't under Shakespeare. So
exactly. And as I said to you before on this show, obviously I know Craig really well. He was my number 2 when I was at Leicester. So I know the DNA. The DNA has gone back to the Nigel Pearson way, and it's basically industrious. We'll work harder. We'll play to our strengths. And they all know their roles. That's why I expect they're so competitive. They can't turn it on and off like a tap. And that's what Ranieri tried to get them to do. They've only got one gear, and it's flat out.
Flat out. What about you, Nigel? What are you going for?
I agree with Flash on the goals market. I mean, in midweek, every single game in the Premier League was over 2.5 goals, and every single game's had both teams to score. So now we're going through that funny season where goals are coming in. So if you're looking at both teams to score markets, look at the overs, look at the both teams to score as a yes, because you are going to get a lot of them coming in now. I think because of the Champions League situation, I was very impressed with Everton against Manchester United. I thought they played really well, should have won that game. Lukaku is an absolute beast at the moment. He's playing some unbelievable football. He's so strong. He's so powerful. He looks like scoring every time he gets the ball. He's full of confidence. And I think with that Champions League match, just in that biggest game of these players' careers, I think that's a big, big factor. And I'm going for Everton to win this game 1.75.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Actually, I'm going to go for the Everton win as well, just because, again, how Everton at home, how they played against Manchester United, and also then the other thing is, so Everton to win. We've got Nigel and Flash seem like buddies. They are buddies. You guys have known each other for a long time.
They are buddies.
Yeah.
I saw Flash make his debut.
Yeah.
I saw Flash make his debut. I saw Flash make his debut for Southampton, and 1974. He was he scored 2 goals, he came on a sub, and ever since that day he signed my great granddad's shirt, and we've been best friends ever since.
The actual truth of it is, at my 10th birthday, he offered me some sweeties and said, "Would you like to play on the swings?"
So that means you knew Nigel when he had hair?
Oh yeah, he was like a 70s rocker.
I look like a cross between John Bon Jovi and Andy Carroll.
Wizard.
Didn't you used to have a ton of hair though, Flash, as well, like big, like blonde hair?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but mine used to go curly, and it used to like go long and then start coming back over the top, like like a Roman helmet.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, like a big long mullet.
Are we talking football? This is fashion tips from Natalie and your Flash's tips for care. Are you trying to take the mick out of me, you two, about tips for haircuts? You're giving me the right thump.
Modelling swimming caps.
Someone finds it incredibly funny.
It's a football show.
We got ha Nigel with hair, all in capitals.
Mate, I'll show you next week. I'll show you a picture of me. I look like something from Take That.
He looked like he had more hair than Rude Hullet.
Oh, you guys are funny. All right, Monday's match. Back to the football. Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Arsenal 1.83, draw 3.8. Crystal Palace 4.75. It is a tough one to call. You know, do we back now Crystal Palace at home, or do you think the Gunners here are going to win this? We'll start with the Gunners fan, Nigel.
I think this is a very, very tricky one on the match markets. I really do. I mean, Arsenal did get the win against West Ham, but the first half they didn't really perform. They got West Ham tired, and they ground them down. They did play well in the second half, but the first half they weren't at it for me. It's always a tough place to go. You know, the atmosphere is going to be electric there. The fans get behind them. They're in and out this season. They've one good win. They've one poor performance. Flash saw him first-hand in midweek, so he'll be able to tell us a little bit more. Obviously, the injury they had to Kabay, if he plays, is a big, big blow for them. But I'm just going to sit on the fence here and not really get involved in the match. I'm going to go both teams to score. Yes. I think Palace will score against Arsenal. I think Arsenal will score. It's a very short price. It's 1.62, but there's goals in this game for me.
Yeah, I'm the same here. 1.62, both teams to score. What are you going for, Flash?
Palace are not let me down, other than obviously last night, and being at home, 4.3. I think Arsenal are flaky. They're weak. I've got to go with Palace, and I've got to go with Palace because of Punchin, Townsend, Benteke and Zaha. I saw them close up last night. They are 4 athletes, and they're so fit. I mean, I expect them to run the Arsenal back four ragged. I mean, Arsenal are so fragile. I expect, if I was having to be pushed on a score, I would say 2-1, maybe 2-0. And if they get a late goal, I've got to be with Palace. 4.3 at home, and they still need the points. Palace all the way.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, Arsenal need the points as well, though, Flash. Arsenal need the points though as well. You know, Arsenal desperate for the points.
Yeah.
But they couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. I would not want my last shilling going on Arsenal, especially in that atmosphere.
Shilling?
I suppose so.
See, I told you. Well, I told you, didn't I?
Last shilling.
That's an old. My granddad said that's an old form of currency.
It is an old form of currency. Yeah. All right. So you won't put your last shilling. Okay. Interesting. All right. And people are calling. They want to see that photo of you, Nigel, next week. Just letting you know. So if you can dig it out.
Yeah, don't you? Oh, it's in black. It's in black and white.
Oh no,
Yeah.
really? You do surprise us.
And flash one of yours as well with it coming over like a helmet.
Absolutely, yeah, no problem at all.
Cool, great stuff. Okay, so we're going to do our nap and then we're going to do our 2-team parlay. I can start this time because I'm always not starting.
Well, you
I'm going
picked
to do
our brains all night.
I have, yeah. I'm going to go for, although I had already written down my selection, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
that
So I like to
just
do my own stuff. I'm going to go for the over 2 goals, Stoke versus Leicester. I'll maybe do that as my nap, 1.8. And then I'm going to do, because you guys convinced me on this one, I'm going to do West Brom draw no bet, 2.1. And I'm going to do, Tottenham to win. That's my Acabet. What do you go for, Flash?
West Ham, nap. West Brom next best, and the pair of them in a double.
Oh, so you do your West Ham as your nap?
Yeah, West Ham's my nap, definitely.
Okay. All right,
Definitely.
West Ham is your nap. What about you, Nigel?
West Brom nap, West Ham next best, and the day double. Me and Flash on the double.
There you go.
Thing.
There you go.
There we go.
Like 2
Best
boiled
buddies
eggs.
ending hand in hand. 2 boiled eggs. Okay, awesome stuff, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. Best of luck with your bets. And yeah, take care. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching, guys.
Good luck.